the opener, be it poise, body language, even communication?
The biggest thing with him, I don't want him pressing. I'm just going to be looking for him to go out there and have fun and play. And don't press. Just let your natural instincts, take over. Play fast, play with confidence, and just go have fun. Just go have fun. And you're only one. I tried to tell him this before. You're only one of 11. And you can only do so much. Just do your job, but have fun doing it.
When it comes to the offense, what made you attracted to what offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley wants to do with the ball?
Well, I thought, as you look at who we are and what we might have to do in order to be successful, that we'd have to be a tempo, offense, and to try to spread people out, because I don't think we have the ability to sit there and maybe do some of the things that you'd like to do, and so you try to give yourself the best advantage you can. And I thought that doing that, hiring Rhett and implementing, that system, would be beneficial, for our program.
Does he own the entire offense when it comes to play calling? Is he owning that 100%?
Well, it's UConn's offense. In this day and age, people are, I better say the right word here, but that always kind of gets me a little bit. It's we're going to put an offense together that fits our kids, because we're not going to try to do something that they can't do, because if you do, you're not going to be successful. Yeah, Rhett's going to call the plays, but as the head coach, if there's something that I think we can do that I see that can make us better, or that what the defense is doing, yeah, I'm going to suggest it. Just like sitting last year in the box with the Detroit Lions. There was Jim Caldwell would say, hey, we got to run the ball more. And you see things as a head coach, and I'm not doing my job if I see things where I say, hey, we ought to throw the ball a little bit more. Let's go attack this guy. I'm there to help them, because sometimes as guys get focused in on everything, they don't see everything. But as far as putting the game plan together and making the calls on game day, that's his responsibilities. And coaching the quarterback, that's Rhett's responsibility to do that. But
sorry, yeah, no problem. Oh, no problem.
You said you got a couple minutes?
Yeah, I got as much time as you want.
Okay, cool. I got a commercial break right now.
Okay.
Florida International.
Back here on the UConn Sports Nation UConn football pregame show. Lucky enough to be joined by UConn Athletic Director David Benedict. David,
how's it going?
Welcome. How are you feeling? Football season's
great.
here.
We're about 70-some minutes from kickoff, and there's nothing better than the start of college football season.
So I'm going to get to the team behind us in a little bit, but you personally, you're entering your second full season here,
Yep.
academic and athletic season.
That's right.
What's going through your mind? How'd your first year go? Did you like what you saw? And you're implementing some changes, obviously.
Well, hey, look, I look at it globally. We can break it down just into the football piece. But, listen, I feel very fortunate to be here and be leading the athletic department. I'm a steward because this is not just my program. This is the entire state's program. But, listen, the reality is we had one of the worst years competitively across the board that we've had in a long time. So, am I happy with that? Absolutely not. Does it make me feel good? No. So, hope springs eternal.
Mm-hmm.
This is the start of a new year for me. We think in terms of academic years versus calendar years. So, I'm really excited about the beginning of a new year. We've got a lot of sports that started competing here in the last week. And listen, there's been a lot of work since December 28th to get ready for this moment. And I'm proud of the coaching staff. I'm proud of the kids, the way they've handled the transition, and I'm very hopeful about what the result's going to be tonight.
You talk about the new staff, Coach Edsel here. You're obviously around throughout the spring, throughout training camp. What have you liked? What have you seen from the staff that you think this program's going to turn the corner?
Look, I think Randy's a very experienced head football coach, and so with that experience, there's consistency. There's a plan in place. He's got a very concrete vision for what he wants out of his program. And then on top of that, he put together a tremendous staff And all together, they've done a terrific job. And then, you know, the student athletes have just responded really well. And I said earlier, talking to Bob Joyce on the radio, that, you know, ever since the first phone call that I made to one of the student athletes to let them know that I made the decision to make a change, this group could not have handled the transition any better than they have. So, listen, the work's been done. I think the staff has put together some schemes that I think are going to be very entertaining and very fun to watch, but at the same time, I think they have the opportunity to make us successful too.
Now it's clear you are very excited. You're all over social media, obviously. Is that just one of the pieces you want to bring to the table? Because not just you, it's coaches that haven't been on social media before. You're seeing, like Ray Reid, for example, you're seeing them reach out to the public a little bit. What's that all about? Are you trying to reach the fan base?
That was exciting to see Coach Reid jump on. You know, I really appreciate that because, you know, it's hard to learn new things. And when you're used to doing things certain ways, it's really nice to see people get out of their comfort zone. But it's really an acknowledgement of the fact that, listen, social media is a great way to connect to our fan base and communicate, and it provides an opportunity to engage people differently. So we need to take advantage of it. Recruiting, it plays a significant role in, and we've seen, you know, Corey Etzel is probably the best on our staff from a social media standpoint. He kills it in recruiting, and it's really important for the kids today. You know, the old days of just sending letters, you know, you used to see all these pictures of these kids that have boxes of letters. That doesn't happen anymore. Most of it's done through social media.
Now, on the field, you're going to be seeing a sped-up offense, no huddle, fast-paced. What are you going to like from Rhett Lashley?
Well, listen, the thing that I like most about Rhett is, listen, he's got a philosophy as it relates to tempo offense. So that is going to be clear, but you know, Rhett's an experienced coordinator, and he understands, listen, Rhett's not going to come out here and try to do something crazy. What he's going to do is come out and try to take advantage of whatever the defense has given us and take advantage of that. And Rhett's put in an offense that I think is capable of taking advantage of, you know, it's going to put us in a position to take advantage of the weaknesses, but it's also going to give us an opportunity to wear teams down in the second half. And I think what fans are going to come to expect is that we're going to be very successful in the second half. If we're competitive and in the game, second half should be beneficial for us, because I'm telling you, until people see it tonight, they're really not going to appreciate how fast this offense is going to play.
Now, as the leader of the athletic department, what's your vision for this football program, both not just this year, but for the future?
Well, long term, the vision is we've got to put ourselves in a position where every year that we have a chance to compete for the conference championship. Because if we do that, then that's going to put us in a very good position for postseason. And do I believe that we should be playing in postseason every year? Absolutely. So, listen, it's a process. It's going to take some time, but I believe Randy's done it before, and we're going to make sure that he's got the resources so that he can continue to be successful and build this program. But ultimately, we got to get back to the point where we're a perennial postseason team and we have opportunities to compete for conference championships. And in this league, that means you're a top 25 team, because the teams that are winning our conference are in the top 25 or even the top 15.
Now, one of the ways you're trying to be competitive while the athletic department is a little bit behind giving conference alignment is moving some games like Fenway Park with Boston College, making a little money there. Are we going to be seeing those type of things in the future as well?
Yeah, doing games like that are important for a lot of reasons. I mean, the decision to move the game to Fenway, there was a lot of tentacles to that. Certainly one of them is financial, but the other one is the kids love it. You know, having the opportunity to play in a historic facility like Fenway is a big deal, especially for kids that we're recruiting that are familiar with Fenway and have grown up going to games or watching Red Sox play. So those are opportunities that we're going to evaluate. Listen, it's important that we build our fan base. There's nothing more important, and we're not going to fill the rent up by taking games all over the place all the time. But, you know, every now and then, if we have an opportunity that makes sense for us, we've got to look at it.
Now, speaking of the fans, I saw you put on social media about 25,000 tickets for tonight. Clearly not where...
I was hoping to get to 25,000. We were approaching 24.
Clearly not where you want this to be. clearly not where it's been previously under head coach Randy Essel. Just talk about what you're trying to do to engage with the fans. I saw Andy Katz is going to be one of the voices here inside the stadium. What else are you doing for that fan engagement?
Well, listen, the game, we refer to it as the game day experience. The game day experience is not just from the time that the ball gets kicked off to the end of the game. It encompasses from the time that you get in your car to come to the Rent and Pratt Whitney Stadium to the time that you leave. So we want to do things that are going to impact and provide our fans with things that they enjoy. So whether that's trying to improve the situation in the tailgate lot so that they can have an easier time tailgating with their friends, creating opportunities for people that don't have the wherewithal or the desire to build their own tailgate. Well, now we've got the tailgate guys here this year, and they can create that tailgate for you. We've provided new in-game seating that people can have for the season. I see some of the seats here in the stands now. I look forward to seeing about 20,000 of those in the future. You know, we have a lot of bench seating here, so this is an opportunity to have a more comfortable situation, and the seats are really nice. You can rent them on a game-by-game basis, but it's probably going to be a lot easier and a lot nicer to have them for the season. And then, you know, we've continued to tweak the concessions offerings. We've got the Randy Etzel Burrito Bowl, and I'm sure that everyone's going to be excited to hear that we've got Chick-fil-A because it's, no matter where you go, Chick-fil-A is a big hit. So I would not be surprised that Chick-fil-A sells more sandwiches tonight than any other item in the stadium.
And then one of the key, most important pieces of the fan base is students. Back on campus this past week. How are you liking how the students are responding to what you're trying to do?
You know, Randy was out serving ice cream in the dairy bar truck on Wednesday, which I really appreciate because, hey, that's the day before a game, and here the head ball coach is out serving ice cream to our students. But that tells you how much he values the students and what they bring to the environment of the stadium on game day. But listen, we've got the student tailgate lot again. We're discounting parking, and fortunately for us, the university was able to help us again and make all the shuttles free for our students that are coming to the game, which, listen, it needs to be. They're a big part of what we're doing here, and we need to make it very easy for them. But listen, in the tailgate lots, we're going to do a lot of things to engage them. I think we were having some rock, paper, scissors contests, some cornhole tournaments and different things to just create that same type of environment for them that our fans enjoy.
Now, a lot going on prior to the game. What are you hoping to see tonight on the field?
Listen, what I want to see is just the hard work pay off. You know, what does that translate to? I can't quantify that, but I want to see our kids have success. I want the entire team to have success, obviously, but I'm really hoping that our offensive unit experiences some success because I know, hey, listen, we're all aware that the offense struggled last year, and really for the last 3 years it's really struggled. And those kids want to be successful. They've worked very hard. And so, you know, I really hope that offensive unit at halftime can go into the locker room and feel good about what they're committing and contributing to this team, because last year, you know, almost every game they were going in, were down, and the defense is shouldering the load. So I'm really excited and hopeful that the offense has some success early and can really gain some confidence and feel good about what they're contributing to the team.
Now football is a key part of the athletic department, but there are other areas as well. You just recently renewed the deal with Nike.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that a little bit and how important that was for the athletic department.
Well, hey, listen, you know, there's certain brands that are iconic in sports, and Nike is one of the most iconic. And there's no question that their brand is in a league of its own. And so for us to be able to have the opportunity to continue that partnership was very significant for us. And what's even more telling is that Nike is continuing to value UConn and our brand like we value the brand, like we expect our brand to be valued. And whether you want to call it the P5 or the P6, you know, they are treating us like one of the elite programs in the country, and that says something about who we are, and we should feel very good about that, and we're very proud to continue the relationship with Nike.
Is that something you really point out when having conversations on a national scale about what UConn can bring as a whole to there's no conference realignment talk right now, but in the future.
You can certainly talk about it, but Matt, I mean, it's nicer when you don't have to say those things and people say them for you. And this is a situation where, listen, it's a partnership, and we can't force Nike to value us the way they do. That's what they believe our value is. So it's nice to see that other people value us in a way that we believe. We have a place within college athletics, and I think we're on the same playing field as Nike is as it relates to how we value ourselves.
You have a key project going on campus at Gamble. How's the roof coming?
All those doors are locked, and I don't go in there very often because you got to wear a hard hat and make sure nothing's falling down. But listen, we're excited about it. I have seen the progress they've made. It is transformational. I mean, the difference between the new installation and what's there is so dramatic. It's really the first time I really saw it where it was significant. It kind of took my breath away. So it's really going to feel like a new facility, and we're at the same time, our hope is to replace the sound system, because it's really the opportune time to do that, because you got to get inside the roof and run cabling. So we're hopeful that it's going to be a new roof and a new sound system and really breathe some life into Gamble.
Well, I hope there's a lot of life being breathed into this place tonight. And David, I definitely appreciate the time, and thanks for coming on.
Matt, thanks for doing this. It makes a difference, and I'm sure our fans love it. So thank you very much, and go Huskies.
That's UConn Athletic Director David Benedict. After this, I sat down with head coach Randy Edsall early in the week for an extended interview, and you'll see that coming up.
Now 2 days away from the season opener, what's the last 9 months been like for you, given you had to fill out a new staff, the recruiting front? It's been probably a whirlwind for you.
It's been fun, but it's also been challenging as well to get all the pieces in line and in place to get us to this point, and knowing that we're playing a game in 2 days. But also it's been fun. It's been fun, and I've enjoyed it, but now it's time to go play, because it's been a long time, but we're ready to play.
Looking ahead to Thursday night, what's going to be running through your mind when you run out of the tunnel with this program again? I
live here in the community, and then I run in the mornings, and I run at other times, but mostly in the mornings, and people, that I see that, ride by in the car, hey coach, good luck, things like that. So it's been very well received. I've been very well received, and very fortunate that having this opportunity.
You had a long history with this program, of course, taking it from 1AA all the way to the Fiesta Bowl. From afar, when you were looking at how things were spiraling downhill a little bit here, did you pay any close attention to that, and did it have an impact on you?
I probably didn't pay too much attention to it until last year when I was in Detroit, because of just the nature of what what I was doing. And then when I got let go at Maryland, you pay a little bit more attention. And then, like I said, last year, because I didn't have as much on my plate, and then plus I had Dan Orlowski there in Detroit getting on me after every game, and asked me, did I see it, to watch it, all those sort of things. So yeah, probably more so in that last year and a half.
You've had a lot of memorable games throughout your career here. Did any in particular stand out above others, and if so, why?
Well, there's all the games, but it's hard to really to get a chance to even reflect on them. I mean, the ones that stand out, of course, beating Notre Dame, and beating South Carolina in the bowl game, and beating Pittsburgh and West Virginia, here, and doing, the Indiana game, the opening game at the Rent. I mean, there's a lot of them. It's too many to even kind of recount or go back and look at. But again, there's a lot of things that we did here that people never thought we could probably accomplish. So
now that you are back here, what's the long-term vision for the program?
Just to get better each and every day, to improve and work as hard as we can to be better in every phase of what the program is all about. Football, academics, as people, And again, if we do that, then all those goals we want to accomplish will take care of themselves. And because again, if we do things the right way and we prepare these young men the right way all the time, then you'll get the wins and everything else. Kids graduating, people being the best people they can be. That'll all happen.
Switching over to the team that you inherited and have since added to through recruiting and things like that, what's one word you would just use to describe the team and their mindset heading into the opener?
I think they're focused. They're ready to go. They want to do well. They want to win. They want to be able to experience the things that a college football player can experience if you do things the right way and you win enough. They want to do that. We have not had really any player issues of significance that we've had to deal with. So that's one thing. They've gotten on board with the things we want to do. Now, are they doing everything exactly the way we want them done and all that? No. They're still learning some of those things, whether it's fundamentals and techniques or, all that. But for the most part, they've really bought into, because I think they want to win. And, we've proven we can win. This program's proven it could win before. So, and we've had enough players from when I was here before come back and speak to the young men to let them know that, hey, just do what the coaches ask you to do. And if you do that, you guys be in a position to experience some of the things you want to experience.
You've had a history of bringing in junior college quarterbacks, even here all the way back to Ryan Tracy and Tyler Lorenzen, and now again with David Pindell. What is it about the qualities those type of players have that allows them to come in on short notice and really command the respect of their teammates?
Well, I think they're probably a little bit more mature than, say, a typical high school kid coming in as a freshman. They do have a little bit more experience under their belt, and I think they're very appreciative of the opportunity that lies in front of them.
What are some of the key areas you're going to be looking for from David in the opener, be it poise, body language, even communication?
The biggest thing with him, I don't want him pressing. I'm just looking for him to go there and have fun and play, and don't press. Just let your natural instincts, take over. Play fast, play with confidence, and just go have fun. Just go have fun. And you're only one. I tried to tell him this before. You're only one of 11. And you can only do so much. Just do your job, but have fun doing it.
When it comes to the offense, what made you attracted to what offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley wants to do with the ball?
Well, I thought, as you look at who we are and what we might have to do in order to be successful, that we'd have to be a tempo, offense and to try to spread people out. Because I don't think we have the ability to sit there and maybe do some of the things that you'd like to do. And so you try to give yourself the best advantage you can. And I thought that doing that, hiring Rhett and implementing that system, would be beneficial, for our program.
Does he own the entire offense? And when it comes to play calling, is he owning that 100%?
Well, it's UConn's offense. In this day and age, people are, I better say the right word here, but, that always kind of gets me a little bit, it's we're going to put an offense together that fits our kids, because we're not going to try to, do something that they can't do, because if you're not going to be successful. Yeah, Rhett's going to call the plays, but as a head coach, if there's something that I think we can do that I see that can make us better, or that what the defense is doing, yeah, I'm going to suggest it. Just like sitting last year in the box with the Detroit Lions, there was Jim Caldwell would say, hey, we got to run the ball more, and you see things as a head coach, and I'm not doing my job if I see things or say, hey, we ought to throw the ball a little bit more. Let's go attack this guy. I'm there to help them, because sometimes as guys get focused in on everything, they don't see everything. But as far as putting the game plan together and making the calls on game day, that's his responsibilities. And coaching the quarterbacks, that's Rhett's responsibility to do that. But if there's things that I see that we're not doing that can help us to be more successful, yeah, then I as a head coach, I have the right to say those and say, hey, I think we need to do this. And that's just like in any business. You know, the CEO sees things, and if it's not, that can be better, you're going to make those suggestions. You're not going to just sit there and all of a sudden, then if it doesn't work, same thing on defense. Same thing with Billy on defense, and it's the same thing for us on special teams. You know, but you hire people to do a job, but you know, there's also things that, you know, having 36 years experience and, you know, 18 years now as a head coach, that you see that some people might not see, you know, and then I wouldn't be doing my job if I'm not making those recommendations or saying that, hey, I think we need to do this, you know, then I'd be cheating these kids and I'd be cheating this program and the university and the fans. Yeah.
You brought up Detroit last year. About halfway through the year, I think the Lions staff moved to more defensive backs on most downs. I think they went from 4 to 5 defensive backs on most downs. Did that exposure and your experience in Detroit help you maybe with the decision to go with defense coordinator Billy Crocker to the 3-3-5, given that you had experience with that a season ago?
No, not really. But you look at personnel, you look at what you're playing at this level and the teams that you're going to be playing against. I just felt that, because again, I talked to, you know, different people about the job, but, you know, when I sat down and had a chance to talk to everybody and evaluate the guys and evaluate us personnel-wise a little bit, where we were, and you know, looking ahead, you know, in terms of, you know, how hard it is to recruit defensive linemen and the unpredictability that you can have with the scheme that we're playing defensively, you know, I just felt that would be the best fit for us. And Billy brings a lot of knowledge and a lot of energy, you know, in terms of his ability to teach and to coach.
As an outside observer, safety seems to be the biggest question mark defensively in terms of experience level. Given the youth and inexperience there, do you have to game plan a little differently early on in the season to help guard against that inexperience?
Well, again, you want to make sure you're going to do things that guys can do. There's going to be some things that maybe early in the season we're not going to do offensively, defensively, or special teams, you know, till we you know, get to where we're comfortable with. But I think one thing is we'll have plans together each and every week, regardless of who we play, that are going to be beneficial to the personnel that we have on the field.
You mentioned earlier in this interview, and I've heard throughout training camp from the players and other members of the staff, the mantra, do your job. Are you and the staff really driving that home to each of the guys to just focus on what you need to do and we'll be fine? Well,
yeah, you know, some kids today, they have so many people in their ears telling them, you know, so many different things. Well, if you make a play or if you do this, you're going to get more recognition. It's going to help you, you know, down the road and all that stuff. You know, we're trying to teach them that you're part of a team, and everybody has their role, and you're going to be given a role, and just go out and do your job, do your role, you know, to the best of your ability. And if you do that, then we have a chance to be successful. But if you're going to go off on your own and just try to make plays and live outside of the scheme or live outside of the responsibilities that you're given, you know, it's going to be hard for us to have the kind of success that we want to as a team. So the more we can just get them, because it's a lot easier if I just have one thing to focus on. If I'm supposed to fit in the B gap, then I fit in the B gap. Or if I'm supposed to block a certain guy, you know, or against certain coverage, I'm supposed to do this. If I start ad-libbing and doing things my own way, now it's going to affect a lot of other people, you know, and then that's when you open yourself up to, you know, giving up big plays, you know, maybe getting the quarterback sacked, you know, those sort of things. So the more we can just get these guys to understand just, hey, it's not complicated, just focus in on what you're supposed to do and do your job to the best of your ability. And, you know, if we get guys that aren't doing that, then they'll be standing on the sideline next to me watching.
As the leader of the program, what are the goals you've set for the team in 2017, and how are you going to define success for the year?
You know, to me, it's the wins and losses will take care of themselves. But, you know, what we got to do is we got to go out and play hard each and every play. You know, and as I told him at the end of the practice today, you know, you walk in this building and it says play every play like it's the last play you're ever going to play. And if you can't do that, we got to be successful. If we do that, we'll be successful. So that's what I'm looking for. It's the effort, it's the intensity, it's the knowledge, the enthusiasm, the body language that they're going to bring, you know, each and every day to practice, each and every game, each and every play, you know, and then, you know, don't panic, you know, don't panic. And if you do those things and you compete hard, there's going to be some days that are going to be better than others, but in the long run, you're going to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
And final question, what are you hoping to see from the team in the season opener on Thursday night?
I just want to see a team play fast. You know, I want to see a team play efficient. I want to see them be effective. I want to see them have fun. You know, and again, I want to see them play every play like it's the last play they're ever going to play, and enjoy being on the field, and taking pride in the fact that they can be out there with 10 other guys at one time, you know, enjoying and playing a game that they've signed up to play, and then just watching them go out and execute and taking all these things we've worked on and going out there and doing the things necessary. So at the end of the day, that, you know, we have more points than what our opponent does.
I appreciate the time, Coach, and good luck this year.
All right, appreciate it.
Back here live at Pratt & Whitney Stadium at Rentschler Field. That was UConn football head coach Randy Edsall early this week, really previewing the 2017 season as well as looking back on his history at UConn. I think it was a good perspective on his time here, what it means for him to be back here at UConn, and what's going to happen tonight here at Pratt & Whitney Stadium at Rentschler Field as UConn looks to kick off the 2017 season against Holy Cross. Now, I know we had a little bit of technical issues early on in this show. Apologize for that, but I will be posting a recording of this entire episode. Mike Anthony from the Hartford Current joined me to start, Athletic Director David Benedict, and then, as you saw, Head Coach Randy Edsall. So, happy football, enjoy the game, and I will talk to you next week, next Saturday, against South Florida. Enjoy.